Thank you. Welcome back from your break. Thank you very much for joining us. So I'm going to be talking about the agriculture program today, also known as the microbial services. So what is going on today in the world of ag? Why are we here today? Why did Ginkgo invest in this new platform? So as you know, we are a growing population, so we are going to have to feed our populations, and we are going to have to feed these new populations on an amount of land that is not going to increase and in a sustainable manner, meaning that we also have some finite amount of resources. And in order to do that, however, we have some different challenges, such as, for example, tightening regulations in the world across the globe, where food is being grown, and as well as some climate changes, as we all well know, is also impacting how we can grow food. So what that means here is that growers need new solutions. So the solutions we have today in the market are not going to be able to help us growing the food that we need. So growers need new solutions, and they need consistent solutions and high-performing solutions. And we at Ginkgo, we think that biology can actually help developing those type of solutions and be part of the solutions and the systems that we have. So because growers need new solutions, that means that now innovators, so all of us here today in the rooms, we also have pressures because we need to be able to bring those solutions to the growers. So what that means here is there is different risk that innovators are going to be faced, either technical risk or regulatory risk or acceptance risk. And here at Ginkgo, we have developed a platform that can help you address all those different risks that the innovators are being faced today. So when you think about the value chain as to all the different steps, if you want, that innovators need to have in order to bring a new solution to the markets, there are really three main different buckets here. So first of all, innovators need to have new starting points, differentiating starting points that are going to meet the demand from the growers. Innovators also need to have those starting points being able to perform at the performance that we need to boost all this productivity that I was talking about earlier. And most importantly, which has been very challenging so far for the agriculture solutions specifically based on biologicals, is consistency. So not only consistency in terms of the manufacturing, so making sure that you can develop products that are consistent from day in and day out, but most importantly also consistent in their performance in the field. So we are going to have a lot of different environmental conditions across the globe. Those products are going to be sold at scale, and therefore we need to be able to have very consistent product. So I'm going to drive you through every single of those different main elements, if you want, and give you some data and some insight on how we are addressing that. So the new starting points that we have here, so this is extremely important that we have differentiating starting points. So we have a very extensive microbial collections that we can actually use. This microbial collection has been heavily characterized, has been heavily also sequenced, and we are able to find starting points for really all the main solutions that can be found and are needed to boost the productivity that I was mentioning before. So think about your typical crop protection solutions, but think also about new emerging needs that we have today around carbon, for example, nitrogen, and in general around nutrients. So the way we do that is we're going to be using genomics, and of course we are also layering that with a bunch of different omics technologies, if you want, metabolomics, proteomics, in order to really find the diversity that we have in the collection and to be able to really address what we need and find some differentiating points. Then after that, we pass all those different leads through a series of assays here. They are not going to be single assays. We're actually using selection index that are allowing us to pass those leads through a series of attributes, if you want, and we are really choosing our leads based on those attributes that are going to best fit it for what the client needs and therefore what the growers needs. So in this example here, we have passed some of our leads through through our phosphate screening cascade here, which really allow us to have predictions and to really be able to identify leads that have the best productivity possible in order to then perform into the field. We also, the second bucket that I mentioned was around performance, right? So here, and it's also related to regulatory risk. So I was mentioning that for innovators, regulatory is also like a main risk that they have to face when they are bringing new technologies to the market. And here we have a wide variety of different tools that we can use, from more like random mutagenesis to something that is going to be fully engineered, like what Emily was discussing today. So we are able to generate millions of different variants that are really going to bring this diversity that we need. But also we need to have the screening capacity to be able to screen all of those variants. And we actually do have that with a new acquisition that Ginkgo has done through this encapsulation and the screening technology, which is really a ultra throughput ways of screening through millions of different variants to really find what we need in terms of improvement of product titer. The last bucket that I was mentioning was around consistency. So there is two pieces here of consistency. It's consistency of manufacturing. So we have a platform where we do have the knowledge and the know-how, and we have people that actually have brought commercial products to the market. And to really being able to take this predictive fermentation process development and to really scale it up to manufacturing, and also help clients to do this technology transfer to whatever manufacturing you need and at the scale that you need. In parallel of that, fermentation is of course extremely important. When you develop different products, we have experts that can develop formulations not only from a prototype but also from a commercial scale on a lot of different type of formulations, from dry formulations to liquid formulations. We also have teams that can help also set up specifications to make sure that, as I was saying, all the products that are being brought to the market are extremely standardized, which is extremely important when you talk about biologicals in specific. So lastly, I also wanted to mention biology and field testing that we have. So that is really linked to the predictability of the assays that I was mentioning at the beginning in the lab. We have done a lot of work to increase this traceability between the lab and the field. We've heard this morning a little bit about the traceability on the human side. Is exactly the same for plants, where we need to be able to, whatever we have in vitro or in the lab, we have to be able to make sure that it is working also in the field. So this is extremely important here. We can work on mode of action, we can work on product placement, so really work with the clients and their own portfolio to really understand how new solutions is going to work with their own solutions, either as a complementation solution or as a replacement solution. And all of that is also with a regulatory team and a field trial team that can really help being a third partner into all of the stage of the development. So I'm going to stop here and just reiterate that Ginkgo has now a very vertical platform that can address different type of product concepts, from biological, from live microbes, to products that is being made by microbes, to also plant traits. I think you have heard of the deal that we just signed with Syngenta around plant genetic traits. And we can also help and support clients through the whole chain of what it means to develop a product, either through discovery all the way to industrialization and manufacturing, and also development. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to present our next panel. So we had a little bit of a problem. One of the panelists unfortunately could not make her flight. So in addition to Ruth Wagner, who is the head of data science and analytics, we also have Corey Huck, who is the head of biologicals for Syngenta. So Corey didn't know, but this morning he thought he was a guest, and here he is now, being part of a panel. So please help me welcome them, and they are going to be moderated by Nadia Berenstein, and they are going to be talking about the future of plants. Thank you.